Yo, what is up guys? Shinobi here back again with another video. This is going to be more of a serious video, kind of ish. Talking about Honkai Star Rail and the state that it's in and where it could possibly go towards as far as this whole Castorice thing. Now, as far as I know, the whole Castorice buff that is supposed to be coming out is only leaked to be in beta right now. But the reason I'm talking about it so much, and why a lot of other people, even people who don't play the game, talk about so much but are in the gacha space, is because of the fact that it is way too broken. It is way too broken, and if this makes it into the game and they can't remove it because Chinese law states that you cannot, remove it, because at that point it's false advertisement, which is why they don't be buffing or nerfing their characters. But it's like, if this makes it into the game, it might be cooked, which really sucks because they have a Fate Stay Night collab coming up that everybody's hyped about, and overall, it could be a problem. It could be a really huge problem. And I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys what it is if you haven't seen it already, which I'd be surprised if you haven't. But if you haven't seen it already, I'm just gonna show you this because it's pretty cracked. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's pretty cracked. Alright, and this is basically it. So, if you guys read right here, the main thing that everybody is talking about. So, after obtaining Castorice, keep that in mind. After just obtaining the character, or when Castorice is in the current team, so this basically means that whenever this character is not on the team, or if you have her and she isn't on the team. Did I say that right? No, whenever she is on the team, or if you have her and she's not on the team, you basically receive this fallen effect, which is basically a global passive. In battle, when an ally character receives the killing blow, all allies that receive the killing blow in this enter a lunar cocoon state and will be basically revived. That is problem numero uno right now, right? And then problem number 2 is going to be the next thing that we got going on here. Now, I don't really care about showing leaks or anything like that, but this is also the second effect that everybody that I've seen has been talking about specifically, and that is the fact that Castorice grants the entire team a 24% res penetration buff, whether she's on the team or not. Now, once again, these are leaks, and it's still in beta, but from what I've heard and from what I've seen, everybody is talking about this, and that is really, really bad. And the reason why that is bad is because this will be the first character that, whether or not it's on the team or not, will be able to buff your characters, give a free revive, and it's global. It basically means that if you do not have this character, your account is cooked. Like everybody's talking about before with Silverwood and all these other characters, that it's like, oh, if you don't have this character, you're breaking your account. You could live without that. This, you cannot live without. You need to pull this character if she comes out the way like this. If she comes out like this, it's cooked, bro. It's actually cooked. Because you know what's going to happen is if this goes through and we don't make enough noise about it and this goes through, what's going to end up happening is going to be, they're going to make more characters just like this. She's going to get power creep real fast. Like, they're going to start releasing characters like, oh, okay, so they were okay with this. Okay, let's bring out another character. Team-wide crit buff with attack. Team-wide, team-wide, or account-wide, my bad, because it's a global passive. Account-wide, attack buff. Account-wide, crit buff. Account-wide, defense buff. Basically, even if she's not, or basically, whenever these characters are just sitting in your account, not even leveled up or anything like that, they'll still give buffs. That is really bad. That is a whole nother level of power creep. That's a whole nother level of predatory that I've never seen in my life in a gacha game. There's never been a character in a gacha that I've played that gives your account a team-wide buff, whether they're on your team or not, let alone a free revive. And honestly, the revive is the least of the worries, because Bailu had the same thing, but she didn't give it to everybody. She had to be on the team, and she could only do it once. I think that this character can only do it once too, but I'm pretty sure that Bailu can't be just sitting in your storage and revive people like this character can. But the team-wide buff is even worse. Because once again, if they put this in the game, if you don't have this character, your account's wrecked. Because you already know with Honkai Star Rail that they're going to go ahead. They're going to go ahead and make more characters that are just like this. And then to make things even worse, if we want to talk about games outside of Hoyoverse, if because, you know, Hoyoverse is the blueprint because they got, you know, famous first with Genshin Impact and whatnot, which is why we got all these other gacha games copying their systems. If other gacha games see that, you know, this goes through and that we're okay with it, guess what they're going to do? Imagine Withering Waves, where they release a character that gives a team-wide buff, whether they're on your team or not. Gives a team-wide, like, let's say, a crit buff or a crit damage buff. I'm pretty sure we don't want that. I'm pretty sure that nobody wants that. Because if you don't pull these characters, that means that your account is bricked. And you already know, once again, that they're going to build these characters around a new MOC. So, you know, let's say they have a MOC where they have a boss that one-shots you. It'd be real nice if you had a Castorice on your team. It'd be real nice if you had that buff. You know? That's basically it. And I'm going to even put my tinfoil hat on right here and think that this is what they meant by we're going to buff the older characters. I think this is what they meant. I hope it's not. But I think this is what they meant by we're going to buff the old characters. We're going to buff the old characters by making you pull a character that gives your whole account a team-wide global buff, whether she's on your account, whether she's in your party or not. That is bad. We didn't ask for them to do that, and I don't hope that's not the case. Because we want actual individual buffs to the characters to make it to where they don't feel miserable to play, because a lot of our older characters are just sitting in the stores. We didn't want a character that could give you a global buff that if you don't pull her, your account's bricked, because all the future content is going to be planned around characters like this. Like, this, in my opinion, is way too important not to talk about. And I know that there's probably people out there that are tired of us talking about it, but if we don't talk about this, the game's going to turn into basically another Genshin Impact. And there's already people saying that it's getting to that point already. And for those of you guys who know how Genshin Impact's state is, it's not looking good. The Natlan story, from what I've heard, isn't doing well. You know, you got characters that are in the game where they're locked in the, once again, transversal portion of the game, aka the exploration portion of the game, behind characters. And those characters are region locked too. Like the Archon, that whole bike and everything that she has, the flying around and all that, it works really well in Natlan, but you take her to Mondstadt and it ain't gonna work. And that's only the top of the list of stuff that need to fix in that game. And we don't want that here. We don't want that here. And luckily for us, we have a community that's not afraid to give criticism to the game. Which is why everybody's making the noise that they're making. Because trust me, if they release a character like this in Genshin Impact, somehow, some way, these people would defend it. I don't know how, but somehow, some way, they would defend the hell out of it. And we don't need this. We don't want it. Nobody asked for it. The only reason why they're doing this, if they release it into the game, is for money reasons. Because they know that people are going to spend, people are going to go ahead and get this character. They're going to do what they need to do to get it. Because they know that if people don't get this character, if it gets into the game, your account is cooked, because all future content will be planned around this character, and then when they power creep this character, they're going to come out with other characters that are going to do more than this. Like, this is just a 24% res pin, right? Well, I present to you the next character after Castorice that's going to give you a team-wide HP buff, defense buff, and, you know, crit damage buff. And then I'll present to you the next character that's going to be crit rate, attack, defense. You know, it could just get out of control. It could really get out of control, y'all, and we don't need that. We really don't need that. So, why am I talking about this? Why am I yapping so much about this? It's because we love the game. We love the game. I haven't made a lot of content on the game, but when I do make content, I enjoy it. And unfortunately for us, with the new MOC being as hard as it is, and them locking a lot of stuff behind the newer characters, it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good, and I want this game to do well. This used to be the game that everybody would come to after they left Genshin Impact, before Withering Waves was a thing. And now it's getting to a point where if they release this character the way that she is in beta right now, it might be time to leave. It might be time to leave, because it'd be hypocritical of me to play this game with that character in the game after
there is no other choice.
All what we wanted in this game not to be, like, well, as far as power creep and whatnot, like, it'd be really hypocritical of me and anybody else who doesn't want this in the game to be playing the game or spending money in the game if they release this character this way. And especially since we don't want other gacha games to look at this and be like, this is what we're going to put in our game. That's like the most important thing in my opinion, outside of Honkai Star Rail, is we don't want other companies to see this and be like, hey, they allowed this so we can put it in our game because, you know, it makes money. We don't need that and we don't want it. We'll see how it goes, but I just wanted to talk about this because it is a problem. And before any of you ask, yes, this is a team-wide buff. And it also applies in every piece of content. Let me show you this real quick. Alright, so we're going to go here. And this is basically it in a nutshell. So you see him get hit. She's not on the team. Revive. Pretty broken if I do say so myself. Pretty damn broken. And yes, it works everything. MOC, you know, pure fiction. All of it. This is a team-wide global buff, and it is way too broken. This is just talking about Castorice, not including the other character that's about to come out who's just as broken, but not to this degree. And once again, we love this game, which is why we're talking about this so much. We'll see what they do. I would say because these are leaks, to take them with a grain of salt, in my opinion. Especially since sometimes leaks be getting out of control, you never know what they're going to do. But in my opinion, I think this is still important to talk about because even if these are just leaks and maybe, you know, it gonna get put in the game, it's in the beta. It's already there. So you can tell that they already thought about putting it in the game, and we need to make noise now so that they don't do this. Because if this goes live, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem, bro. It's not gonna be just a problem. It's gonna be impossible to come back from because at that point they're gonna be too deep in. And it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck if this game has to be left, or if I have to leave this game after everything that I've gone through with it. But if I do have to do it, if I do have to say goodbye to this game, I mean, it is what it is. I'll enjoy the memories and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I don't want it to go that route. So hopefully it doesn't come down to that. But leave your comments down below. Leave your thoughts down below. I know this is a more serious video. My bad, but it needs to be talked about. Because we don't want this game to die. We don't want this game to, you know, go down the same road that Genshin Impact or other predatory games have gone down. They have invested too many people. A lot of people have invested too much time into this game. A lot of people have invested a lot of money into this game, seeing that it was doing good things, and we would all hate to see it go because the Hoyoverse wants to be greedy. Then what to make things worse, you already know if they do this to Star Rail that ZZZ is up next. And I don't know about you, but I tried out ZZZ for the first time a couple of days ago and I enjoy it. It feels like a really casual game that I don't have to worry about. I play through the story, I play with the characters, and it's fine. Basically the same way Star Rail felt when I first started playing the game, when we all first started playing the game. So, I mean, we'll see. We will see. But other than that, that's pretty much gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Shinobi sign off. I don't know if I should say enjoyed because honestly, this is pretty bad news. But if you want to see more content on the channel outside of this, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of anime content on here, especially with Honkai Star Rail, Genshin, well, not Genshin Impact anymore, but Honkai Star Rail, Bleach Brave Souls, all that kind of stuff. Reactions and all that kind of thing. So if you guys enjoyed that, make sure to go ahead and do that. Discord down below if you want to join. But that's pretty much gonna be it. I really hope they don't put this in the game. I really hope that they listen to the players, because yeah, it's wild.